Yeehaw. All right. All right, so I am on now, and this is March 1st. It is 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I don't know if people are probably at work, but I am I have peace and quiet during the day, a couple of days a week. And so I try to do this kind of thing when I am not disturbed. So I will just watch and wait. I'm going to give people, I know I'm a few minutes early, starting a few minutes early, so I'm going to give people a few minutes to get here because it is posted places. And I will just watch. I'm going to post this in chat that if you want a reading, simply say hi. I cannot see names of those here. So a little background on me for those who don't know who I am. My name is Rebecca Foster, and I have been a working spiritual medium or guide for the last 32 years. 32 years. It's pretty scary. Yeah, it's 32 years. And basically, it has, it started off when I was really young, when I really didn't understand it. You know, kids and animals, they can see that kind of thing. But when I was really little, I used to see a lot of things that were kind of creepy. And I was, I guess, strangely afraid of ghosts. I mean, my parents never talked about ghosts. Nothing was ever, we didn't really watch that much on it. Although I do remember a That's Incredible show that used to be on, That's Incredible. And there was one episode where I was in the basement and I had to stay down there because it was either basement or bed. That's where the parents were at. They're like, phew. So there was an episode of a Toy Story, a Toys R Us in Texas that had a poltergeist. And I can remember watching that and then the ball falling off of the shelf and bouncing, and that terrified me actually. But when I was 4 years old, my great-grandfather died. I called him Bampa. And I got home from school, and I can remember my mom saying that Bampa had died that day. And I was really upset. I went up to my room, and you know those old chairs, they still make them today, I think now, but they're like little plastic chairs you can sit in and rock back and forth. Well, I fell asleep in that. And in my dream, I saw him. I'm assuming it was a dream. I'm assuming this was a dream. But I was at my grandmother's house and where he had passed. And as the paramedics were bringing him down, and hey, for all I know, I was out of body when this happened. I was 4 and I was asleep. So I just remember what I saw. And the paramedics were bringing him down on a stretcher and he was covered. And then he sat straight up in the stretcher and he went, "Where am I? What am I doing? Why are they taking me down the stairs? Where am I?" And I was like, "Oh my God." And I remember I was terrified. But I've never forgotten that. So shortly after he had passed, shortly after that, my grandmother had a big spotlight on her garage and it was dark. The gravel driveway. So we're all outside, my parents and everybody were at my grandmother's. And this is, again, where my grandfather, my Bampa, died. And I was riding my bike away from the light down the driveway towards the road by myself, towards the darkness, because the light only stretched so far. And as I got to about the house, I saw Bampa, and I saw his shadow and his hat and his cane right there next to me. And as a child, on gravel, I don't know how I pulled a Louie like I did, but I was like, meow, and I flipped around and I was like, oh my gosh, there's Bampas over here. And nobody believed me. Of course, I was just a traumatized child. But again, if you're watching and you want to be read, please just say hi in the side, because I cannot see who's here. I have no idea. If you're afraid to put your name or unsure of it, then I will just wait and see if something comes through from your guides to mine, and you won't have to say anything. I'll just go through it that way. It's pretty neat how that works, but I don't have to know who you are or why you're here to read you. Well, I'm not that all-powerful genie. It's just a gift that I've been given. So that's how I do it. Okay. But yeah, so when I was little, I had... I was able to see fairies, and little things used to dance and put me to sleep in the window in our cottage in Michigan, and it's pretty cool stuff. Okay, so right now I can see that there's 3 people watching. One of those might be me. I have no idea, because I'm not a pro at this. I do it. So why do I do this? Why do I do it? I do it because I enjoy doing it for people. It's not work. You know, people aren't paying me to be at a certain place at a certain time. It's something I can do because I want to do it, and I enjoy doing it. So it's easy this way, and I don't want to be famous. I don't want that. I don't want everybody like knowing me. I don't want that life. I just want those who are supposed to know me so that I can pass on what I'm supposed to them. Because everybody finds me for a particular reason. So again, if you're watching and you want me to read you, get up the guts, just say hey to me on the side. Otherwise, I'm going to just take a moment and figure out or vibe on. Okay, we have a Christine. And then I'll vibe on anybody else who is kind of watching on the sidelines and see if anything comes through, and I will do, I'll send you whatever I'm supposed to. So when I'm doing this, the information comes from God, from spirit guides, from people who've passed over, and I just interpret the messages. So basically it's all symbolisms, it's symbolic. So I'll explain to you first what I am being shown, and then I'll explain to you what it means. So Christine R., I will start with you first. And again, I'm just going to take a second to vibe on you, and then go from there. I have an itch on my leg. Oh, it's so weird. It's tough. I get to doing this, and all of a sudden I get picked on. Sometimes they put their finger in my nose, which is a lot of fun, especially in groups and big parties. Because I'm playing with my nose the whole time, and I try to shoo them away. Okay, so Christine, you are number 1 for today. Let us look at what you have going on. Okay, Christine. I just want to show you, there's nothing here. I don't have anything here. I just, that is how my eyes shut down, my physical eyes shut down when I'm reading for people. And so I look away for what's going on. So Christine, let's take a peek at what you are doing. All right, so when I read for people, the first thing that my guides do is show me a beach. The beach represents safety, security, and grounding. The water represents problems or situations a person sees coming at them. It can also represent opportunity. It just depends on how a person is placed in the water or on the water. And, it all has a lot of significance. So Christine, the one thing that I noticed for you, the first thing that I see for you is that you are wearing some really beautiful shoes. I mean, I wish I could draw so I could show people this is the outfit I want, because when I'm reading for people, you guys have the coolest outfits on and the greatest shoes, and it's just wow, I wish I'd be an awesome celestial fashion designer if I could draw, or I could do any of that. So Christine, you have on these really beautiful shoes. They're high heels. They're almost a pale pink with like a hint of mauve in it. And they're high. They're glittery, sparkly, not tacky gaudy, but really like iridescent to them. And the one thing that they're showing me is your feet. And as you take a step, it's like you're walking in a marshmallow or walking in marshmallows. And every time you stop, you take a step and then you pull your foot out and you get your foot, you get the marshmallowy stuff off and then you continue to walk. So the close-up on your feet, the close-up on the shoes, the close-up on... Hi, Sonia, how are you? That's funny. The close-up on your feet is where they want me to focus. And so... And I'm seeing your heels too. I'm not seeing the front. The fact that, and the marshmallow we said is like beautiful, fluffy white, but it's difficult to traverse. I mean, you're having a lot of difficulty walking it. Maya, I want to pull back because I want to see where exactly you are and why you are doing this, because there's a lot of just in the shoes alone. Shoes represent a situation or a person holding you back, or the perception that you are being held back by a person or a situation. And they're not just like humble shoes. They're not be yourself shoes. These are shoes of what others expect of you. So what this is telling me is that you are doing things right now with your life or in your life to make others happy rather than yourself, and that you are walking a path that you are not happy with, that you are having difficulty with, that it's a pain in the dupa, that you are having to pull this off and fix your shoe every single time you take a step. And so what the main focus of what you're supposed to get today is to stop trying to please people so much. What people don't understand is that I guess everybody understands it, that whole saying, and you can't make everybody happy. It's so true. It's very true. You can't. And you shouldn't even try to make anybody happy. You should try to make yourself happy. And once you're living your truth and your reality, then you will attract those people to you. You will attract that energy to you of the right people for your life, the right job, the right circumstances. And so the main focus is these beautiful shoes in this white, fluffy, mucky stuff. Hi, Tiff Marie. And so the main focus for you is to stop trying to please others and be yourself. I cannot take shoes off. There's a lot of things I can do to manipulate a person's beach to see what I can do and how I can do it, to alter what I'm being shown for people, but I can't take shoes off. And so your circumstance is completely, it's within your control. I mean, you are on solid ground. It's just that you may not feel like it's within your control. And I use control in the quotes because control is only how we describe something that is going our way. Things that are, I feel like everything's in control. It's under control. I'm good. It's because it's going the way we want it to go. And when we feel like things are out of our control is when they're happening more to us, that they're happening at us. We have to kind of alter and change our life. So if we feel like things are out of our control, that's why. So for you, Christine, your biggest thing is being you, ultimately. And for some reason, when I said that, it sounded almost like your energy said, I can't just go out and be me. And you have to figure out why that is, and if you can alter that or change your circumstances. And if not, you also then have to decide if you are going to be okay with walking in these super beautiful high heel shoes and marshmallow floors for much longer. So it's completely up to you. Okay. It's within your control, though. You can change it. You can change that. Oh, and one more thing before I let you go, Christine. There's a guy around you that it seems like is taking advantage of you, and it looks like is not like you're giving 110 because you're a giver. You give like 100% of your heart, 110% of your heart away, and this individual does not do the same in return. So especially do not try to make someone happy and change your life and make concessions in your life for somebody who is not willing to do the same. Okay. Thank you for watching, Christine. So Sonia Caballero, I love looking at all of your food posts. You make me super hungry, and I'm on a diet all the time. So, well, it's not a diet, it's a correction. It is a lifestyle. Yeah, all right. It's a lifestyle minus donuts. Okay, so Sonia Caballero, let's take a peek at you. All right. There's several things that they're showing me. Thank you. Go ahead. Christine, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for watching. And Sonia, you don't have to send me any more food pics unless you're going to invite me over and fly me to your house for food. Okay. So the one thing that they show for you is that you are walking along what looks like a desert. And it looks like the sun is going down, and you're on solid ground, which is good. You're not in water. And actually the void of water represents just a person who does not sit back and worry and carry a lot of fear about things that are coming. And it feels, walking behind you, it feels calm. It feels alone, and at the same time completely surrounded by energy and love and life. It's like, it's really cool. It's really cool. It's kind of like when I go sit in a cemetery in the middle of the night. It's not scary, actually. It's really calming, and I don't know. I know that's strange. But I have to turn this down. I apologize. I grew up just south of Chicago, and if you've heard of it, there's a cemetery there that's pretty well known called Bachelor's Grove, and we used to hang out there all the time. And when I got older, I snuck in there one night, scared a few people off that didn't know we were there, and then just kind of sat in the cemetery that's supposed to be so scary and haunted, and it's really not. It's a really awesome place. And ever after that, I was like, wow, I can dig some. No pun intended. I could dig some cemeteries. That was funny. Okay. So Sonia, back to you on your desert. Okay, so there is this, the one thing I see is this landscape in front of you that the sun is setting behind it. So everything is darkened in front, and I can see this landscape of like bluffs and mountainous looking things. And I know there's a word for them, but I can't even think of it right now. So you've got all of these happening up here, and then the sun seriously is huge, and it takes up most of the vision, and it turns from a sunlight almost to a pathway or a tunnel. And for me to look at that, it's interesting because it tells me several things. Again, the whole feeling of being alone is on the human level. It's not on the spiritual level. It's not on the energy level. It's the human aspect of the feeling. So it's telling me that going through something or having to make up your mind or choose something alone. And also going through something that humans or people around you may not understand that you're going through. So then it represents travel. It represents movement. And it's very, I can't say it's not a scary thing. I'm looking at it like this is just a transition from point A to point B and in a beautiful way. And it could very well mean like a literal moving. If I look at the earthly path of things, I don't think that's the case. If anything else, it would be a vacation or a getaway kind of a thing. And it has purpose, so it wouldn't be like, hey, I'm going to the beach for the weekend. There's a purpose behind the travel. And it feels important, so it would be something I would doubt you would turn down. Excuse me. I drank like a cup of coffee and I had a piece of pizza for lunch, and it was, I don't know, it's like making me belch. I can't help myself. So beautiful scenery, going through something alone. People aren't understanding it. You're in a beautiful outfit too. It looks, I don't think it has very much bearing on it. Looking at your outfit as just like a fitted skirt and a top. You do have some low heels, which I find completely irrational because I can guarantee you do not wear a low heel. And it almost, I guess, the knowledge of that tells me that the fact that you have adjusted what you're doing and how you're going to handle this pathway to more of a comfort level for yourself. How to explain it. So by lowering the heel, you have altered your ability to traverse this roadway or this path. It's like desert, and then the bluffs in front of you. Oh, and also the other meaningful thing is that these mountainy things, these bluffs that are in front of you, they don't completely connect. They actually have like a path straight through them towards the sun for you to be able to walk through. So you do not have this horrible thing that you have to climb over the mountain, and that would add a lot of stress to the situation. And I know you like high-heeled shoes. I know. I've seen your Facebook posts. I haven't worn a high heel. I can't even tell you in how long. They just sit in my closet like, please pick me. Like, no. So looking at what's happening is basically they're saying to rest assured that the human aspect of support may not be around you through a difficult transition or a feeling of going through something alone. The human aspect may be void, but the spiritual aspect is there completely and fully to help you get through and to this traveling point, this section that you're going to have to do. Okay. All right. Okay. And it's funny because Sonia, you know what? I don't know you outside of Facebook, I don't think. And I've known you on Facebook for years, but I don't know you outside of Facebook. So I see high heels and lots of beautiful dresses and food. All right. All right, Christine, I got you. Sonia, I got you. Diane, did I get? Oh, I have to move up here. Okay. Tiff Marie, are you still here? Brianne, Anast, are you guys still here? If you are, just shoot me a yes so that I know. I know, your 3 favorites. I know, that's funny. I used to wear heels. I used to wear dresses. I don't know what happened. I say that stuff for business, I guess. Okay, so Tiff Marie and Brianne Anast, are you guys still here so I don't skip over either of you? And Diane Anast. Okay, Brianne Anast. Okay, and then I see there's a Diane Anast. Okay, so you guys must know one another. But I don't think Tiff Marie is still here. She's not. Oh, yes, she's there. Whoop, whoop. All right, okay. All right, so everybody. All right, so I'll get to you guys then. All right, so Tiff, I'm going to. The hooker cooker. All right, that's funny stuff, the hooker cooker. Oh my gosh. All right. So Tiff, I'll start with you. Tiff Marie. Let's take a peek. Now, Tiff, the one thing that comes right away through for you is a dog. It's a smaller dog, and dogs are funny because they really have no discretion, so they will all come through all at the same time, all at once. Is the second I open the door, they're all like, whip, 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 and they're running in. So there is a smaller dog, and when I look at this, I think, what kind of dog would I compare that to, size-wise, hair, coarse? I would look like that looks like a schnauzer or a short, wiry-haired kind of a dog. And it looks white or gray, multicolored, white, gray, pepper in there a little bit. And this dog is jumping up here, trying to, it just goes, it's like it's jumping up, trying to get my, I don't know, my knee or my legs. And let me ask this. Tiff, Diane, or Brienne, does this dog make sense to either any of you guys? Because I just thought I better ask only because I picked up on all three of you all at the same time. So does this dog, this little white, gray, peppery looking, schnauzery, smaller dog make sense to either of you guys, any of you? Just so I know who I'm actually reading for right now. Because I'm focusing on Tiff. However, twizzling does happen. You guys are doing this at work. Okay, so Brienne, that makes sense to you. All right. Oh, it makes sense to both of you? Well, then, okay. All right, okay, well, then I'm just going to keep on going. All right. So this dog, the animals talk just the same. And something that now has just started playing with my nose, like I said. Oh, okay. So you guys are sisters. All right. Okay, so it would make sense to both of you. Now, it sounds like a name, like an S name. And I don't know why. It almost sounded like the dog was like saying the S name, like Sally or Sanny or Sammy or something. And I don't know if it would be the dog's name or somebody they'd be referring to. But there is this dog that's jumping. So I'm assuming this dog would have to be passed over, or an older dog that is no longer with you guys. And I'm waiting for the dog to say anything or show me something, but the dog is just jumping up on my leg, like trying to get my attention. And also, the dog is talking about smoke, like pipe smoke or cigarette smoke. Wants me to talk about something that smells smoky. And hold on. I have to change my perspective of the dog. I have to get the dog to stop acting like a dog and start actually communicating with me. So the dog. All right. So from the hallway, if I'm looking from the dog's perspective, if I am looking down this hallway towards bedrooms or something. So you walk down the hall and then there is it must be, and sometimes I do mirror things. So I may get it right, but I may have to flip it. So as I'm walking, the first door on my right would be a small bedroom of some kind. And then on a little bit further on the left, it looks like there's a bathroom and then a bedroom and a bedroom at the end of the hall across from each other. Does that make sense to you guys? Just say yes or no. And the dog wants me to talk about that. And then a necklace of some kind that is exchanged between you guys. A necklace that may have been lost or broken, but exchanged between you guys. And the dog is also talking about a grandfather that passed away but showed up at your house like that day or the next day that was there with you guys. And he's a taller individual, thinning hair, so he'd have hair around the side, maybe not so much on the top, but he's taller. And not heavy, but big. I almost like big, like a big chest on him, and like tan slacks with the top. And then I know it's not a members jacket or members only, but it's like one of those tan zip up pullover kind of a thing that you would wear, that it's just a light jacket. And the dog is talking about this gentleman kind of walking through the front door, and the dog's like, what is that? Who is this? You know, like, what's going on? And also mentioning somebody, it must be your mom's ankle or her foot. It twisted to mom, and then ankle, foot, and then somebody that is in the kitchen and isn't able to do what they're supposed to do or cook. It's like somehow this has disabled a person from completing what they want to do or how they do it. It's like bringing me into the kitchen and talking about foot or ankle. And then sports, like one of you must have done like sports when the dog was around. I don't know if it's soccer or what, but volleyball maybe, but it looks like almost like high knee socks. So as you can see, dogs are very sporadic, and it's trying to interpret what she's saying. Or it's funny. This feels like a female dog. It may be male, but the energy comes across super gentle like that. And no, I do not consult the dead. I do not do it. But if they have a message, I will pass it on. And so, okay, and the spiritual energy will continue talking forever and ever and ever. So being that you guys are sitting here, I'm going to try to separate your energies and read something for each of you. So Tiff, back to you. Okay, so Tiff, your energy is, you have like newlywed or engagement energy around you. You have a coupling energy around you that tells me that either you're recently married or you're getting married, or there's a new union happening around you. There's a marriage of sorts where you are going to be accepting responsibility for another person into your life. And I wouldn't say so much that it would be a baby. It could be, if I look somewhere else to see if, I don't see that. I don't see that. They're not showing me that. They're showing me this new union thing, this like wedding or marriage thing happening. At the same time of accepting someone else, it looks like you're also giving up part of yourself, which could very well be having children, because that pretty much happens. So, Tiff. Now, the other thing for you, Tiff, is that you seem really young. I mean, your energy feels really young. Your energy feels young to the point of like, you are not afraid of new beginnings. You're ready for new beginnings. You're accepting of new beginnings. And with that energy comes, hold on, let me fix this here real quick. Here we go. With that new energy is also what looks like a job opportunity. And this is so hard because, oh my gosh, it's snowing like a bejesus outside. Holy cow. Sorry, that just took me by surprise. More snow. It either has to like give us a blizzard or, give me something to do with it. Okay, so Tiff, it's basically saying a new job opportunity is going to come to you. And then when I look at that, I think that's super exciting. But then at the same time, I feel like you may be in a position where you turn it down because you would have to give up some of your comfort. And what I mean by that is, okay, so when you are faced with a decision or a choice, you either have the right turn or the left turn. And the right turn doesn't mean that it's the right way to go. It just means you're turning right. So the right turn is saying that you, everybody that you know is there. They're like, oh, Tiff, come on, you can hang out with us. This is awesome. It's exciting. And we love you. And everything you know is down this path. And whoop, 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 Tiff. And then you've got the left-hand turn, which says nothing. It's nothing. It is a big dark log that is as tall as you and on its side, and there's little creepy eyes looking out at it, and there's things and spiders blocking the way, and basically nobody is there to welcome you down that path. And so you are faced with everything you know and love and are comfortable with, or this little path over here that at the very, 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 very end of it is a light. And you look at it and you're like, oh, I love that light. I want that light. Wow, it's going to be so hard to get there. And so it can cause us to, every now and then, the right turn is just very appealing. Once, twice, three times. What happens is when you take that path, it loops back around and puts you right back here where you started, and you're faced with the same decision, this way or that way. And so sometimes we make that decision over and over and over and over again until we finally decide, I can't do this anymore. Y'all are happy. I'm miserable. Bye-bye. And so we take that really scary, untraveled, never have, that riskier path. And that's kind of what it's saying. You're going to be faced with the decision of keeping everybody happy or making yourself happy. And it doesn't look like you're ready yet to give up the comfort of making everybody else happy. You're not ready to give them that opportunity to say, well, if she's going to go that way, I'm going to go that way. This is important to her, and I want her, so I'm going to... And what we find is when we finally do take the path we're supposed to, those that mean anything in our life, those that lift us up, those who are there to grow with us or spiritually enhance our path and who we are, they will find a way to follow us. And so for you, Tiff, there is a choice coming up, an opportunity, but I don't think you are where you need to be to make that change just yet. I cannot tell you, though, if the opportunity will come in the future. So I can tell you this. Things that are meant to be, same church, different pew. It'll always find a way. Things that are meant to be will always find another entrance into your pathway. Opportunities, not so much. They come and go, and that may be what this is for you. So that's that. That's for you to hear. And I hope it makes sense for you. Okay, so then Brianne. Brianne or Brianne? Brianne? Okay. I hate mispronouncing people's names. All right, Brianne, let's take a peek at you and see what's going on. Okay. Brianne. Your energy, Bree, thank you. Okay, Bree, all right. Your energy is very no nonsense, is the way I put it. You don't beat around the bush. See, the thing, let me clarify that. You're a quieter individual. You assess the room. You figure out who you're dealing with, what the conversation is. You do not just jump in and like, I'm here. You're not like that at all. You are more laid back. And again, you assess things. But when you finally do open your mouth, people know exactly what you're thinking and feeling. There is no miscommunication. You are very straightforward when you finally do speak. And it's not that you come across abrasive. It's that you come across like, yeah, those jeans make your butt look huge. It's, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I don't want you wearing those out either. So it's that kind of a thing. Tiff, let me answer that question in a minute. Let me finish with Bree, and then I will get right back to that question for you. So you have this strong energy that is very protective of the people because you do not allow a lot of people close to you. And so those individuals that are, you protect and you really nurture those friendships and those relationships. And when you cut off completely. You give someone so much of a benefit of the doubt, and then if they continue, you are able to completely cut them off, and nobody can convince you to go back to otherwise. So if I were to pick you up, Bree, and put you down on the beach, let me see where your guides put you. You're a protector, a savior, a healer. They put you down in the entrance to the forested area. The forested area is where the path is dark and it's narrow and it's a solo kind of a walk. You have like a towel rack and a little bird feeder full of water and just a little sustenance for people. And those who come out, you're like, oh cool, here you go, here's a towel, here's something to drink, blah blah blah, get your butt back in there. You're like a coach, you're like the boxer coach or something. You don't enable people, you help them and you guide them, but you don't enable them, you don't allow them to be anything less than what you see. You would make like a really good teacher, a good leader. Because you aren't afraid to sit back and let others lead. And the thing about that, let me clarify that. To be a leader, you first have to follow. And then to maintain leadership, you really have to walk at the back of the room. Leaders don't drag people behind them. They kind of walk behind them and they suggest and they build and improve the people in front of them so that one day they will too be leaders. So leaders really truly stand at the back of the room and allow the others to do it. And that's where you have no issue. You aren't one who's like, oh, I have to be the best, I have to be in the front. Your guides are saying that you are a good teacher, a good role model, mentor. These are good things. You don't have patience, though. It's like I'm looking at you thinking, it's funny that they're saying you have all this, but for the little detailed things, you don't have patience for people that are stupid. And I hate to say that, but stupidity is basically just knowing what is right and what's wrong, and then continually doing the wrong stuff. That's the definition of stupid. And so I can hear almost like, what? How, like my brain is burning. Why do these people keep doing this stuff? So it's you have the fact that they're telling me to tell you that tells me that you do have to take on a leadership role in this life, and that's probably why you came down in the first place, is to help to lead others. And as much as you would be comfortable sitting at the back of the room, you should also get up and know when you have to take the lead and direct. And it's funny because as much of a leader as you are, if I pick you up and put you behind a desk, you're like, no, no, this is not me. I'm not wearing the suit. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this, people. All right, okay, if you need me, I'll be out there. It's funny. It's actually funny. So, yeah, you take care of people. It's interesting. It's funny. So Tiff, where it comes to you about the job, getting back to that. The first thing that they said about you was the new beginning, as far as like, Brianne, I'll touch on that real quick. The one thing they brought up was like new beginning, as far as marriage or engagements and that kind of a thing. I'm sorry, my phone has been going crazy. Okay, cannot answer that right now. Where was I? That was okay. So that's what they were saying as far as new beginnings. And it's almost as if what they're saying is you have something that you really, really love and want, but then something else that you really, really love and want comes along and you turn it down for a person, that you turn it down for an individual. So to make sure that everybody is content and happy, you turn down something that you really, really want to do to make somebody else happy and comfortable so that they don't have to change. That's kind of what they're saying with that. And then Bree, love, marriage, or children. I don't see any children around you, and that's not a bad thing. Usually if I'm reading for someone and their family comes through, it's because, and it doesn't matter if it's children or partners, spouses, whoever, if they come through, it's because something in their life is going to affect your life. So I'm not seeing anything about the family around you other than who I'm reading for right now because they're here. But as far as love, relationships, marriage, when I put you down on the earthly path and I follow you to the relationships room, the doorway opens up, and I don't see anyone standing there just yet. And as I saw that, I heard there's the correct wording would be something about timing. That there's somebody that's really pulling on my energy, something fierce. I don't know who it is. Maybe somebody on here who's not telling me that they're not here or that they're here. Somebody's trying to get me to pick up on them without saying anything. Because somebody's energy is like, and I'm like kind of being pulled away. It's interesting. So there's, and I'm looking at anything from the past, anything from the future, anything that's current. And it looks like your focus right now is on all the situations around you, and not something coming into your life that's new. Like a relationship-wise. I'm looking and I don't see it. Not right now. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that there are other things that need your attention first and take precedence over emotions. It's almost like the things that you need to do to set up your future and your path the way that they're supposed to go. You have to do that before the rest, as far as marriage and everything happen, or you may not take the path. It's almost like you set it up so that it's like, okay, I want to have all this down pat first before this comes along, because otherwise this may be too much, which means you're going to have a lot all at once going on in your life. It's going to take a lot of energy, and it may require some juggling. And so let everything happen the way that it's supposed to, because I don't see anything right now. So interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's see here. I think I may have to, I have a, I may have to go. I got kind of an emergency message here that I think I should probably tend to, but I am, like I said, I am free on no disturbances, none, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And those are my 2 days to do what I need to do and however I want to do it. For the most part, you never know what can be thrown into the mix though. So it's always something. So what I'm going to do is, once I know my schedule for next week, I will post another live stream and let you guys know. I'll post it both on Facebook, and at the beginning of the chat, I put my Facebook where I do live streaming there as well, and then also my website, so you can find out a little bit more about me. But I'll go from there. And if you have any other questions, you can always feel free to message me or send me a text, or all of my information's on my website. So feel free to do that. And I thank you guys for stopping by and listening. And oh, Diane, I didn't read for you. I'm sorry, I got all these texts and I flew right past Diane. There you are. All right. Diane, I will touch on you first before I say goodbye. All right. Diane, let's take a peek. The first thing that comes through for you, Diane, the first thing that I pick up as I go from head all the way down, and I get stopped like right at my esophagus, almost like I have heartburn or I have reflux or something. And it goes right into my stomach. And I'm looking at that going, okay, so is this serious? Is it something that's stress related? That's what I'm looking for right now. But it feels like heartburn. It feels like something I would eat would cause me to even have like bubbles, or to have just that feeling of heartburn, that stomach upset. Funny enough, I'm going to look a little bit further here. So let's see. So chest is good. Okay, arms, stomach, liver, gallbladder. It's weird, and I almost feel like you don't have a gallbladder, which could also mean that you are reactive to greasy things or fatty foods. May affect your digestion. But the heartburn part, that part looks like it may be stress-induced. It may be just simply the fact that you are a worrier. And I'm looking at your stomach thinking, it may just get irritated because of stress. But if I move down intestinal, it's okay. And it's funny because I'm like, okay, most of this is just like digestion related. And then I look at your intestines and everything, and I think, okay, every now and then there's a cramp here or a cramp there in my intestines. It doesn't feel like Crohn's. It doesn't feel like diverticulitis or anything. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like stress. And I'm wondering how much of your diet is also affecting your digestion as well. If you have a really clean diet or you eat a lot of salads, I'm trying to figure out what that feeling is. It feels like something is difficult to break down. Like my body is having a trouble breaking something down, and it affects how I feel after I eat it. So I would tell you to watch what you eat, pay attention to what you eat as you're eating it, and then how do you feel afterwards if you cut it out of your diet. And I was wondering, is it like lactose or anything? And I don't so much feel like it's lactose, is it feels those things that are more difficult, like salads or lettuce and roughage, and then greases or heavier greases of any kind, fats, heavier fats, butters might affect how you digest. back, chest. And then I just heard I'm supposed to tell you that nothing's coming back. Nothing's coming back. And then they show a pink button that you push. Pink button, boop. They say nothing is coming back. So worry looks like it could be affecting your health right now. It could be affecting your sleep. Could be giving you headaches. Worry and stress do a lot of those things. So the moment you remove those, you may start to feel better and get your energy back. But I'm just supposed to tell you that nothing is coming back. It's interesting. Again, I hope that this answers your questions. And then also, one more thing, Diane, for you, calcium. Making sure you're taking a calcium that isn't rough on your system, but that will also help, like with your bones, of healing something with your bones. And keeping them strong. That's what they're telling me as I'm backing out. That's what they're saying. So if you guys have questions, anything like that, you want to email me, go to my website, and you are welcome to do that. You can find me on Facebook too. I'm there all the time. So just shoot me a message and I will answer you back. No problemo. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. And I do appreciate it. And God bless. And I look forward to hearing from you guys again. I'll let you know when I plan on doing this in the next coming week. So take care. Bye.